Yeah, Sway the Morning, Shade 45. Man, I want to, that's Dave East Karma 3 project out right now. I'm going to open up these phone lines. Before I even bring this guy up, man, this dude, some people have played significant roles in our lives and don't even know it. You know, they've become cultural icons based on the work that they've done and the consistency that they've had, not just on screen, but also off screen. And the guest that we have coming up next, man, I consider a friend. He may not realize that, but we've crossed paths many of times, and he kind of helped me in many ways when he played his role as Dwayne Wade on a different, Dwayne Wade. Shout out to Dwayne Wade, but Dwayne Wayne on A Different World. And that show was so significant at a time of growth, especially for the black community and the imaging that it portrayed, you know, and people seeing young black kids going to school where education and studying and social issues were important. And, you know, at a time where we were shaping and molding imaging through Hollywood that really wasn't representative of us, comes a show like this, you know, and it was right in our wheelhouse. And this dude has gone on to do so many wonderful things, whether it's the Boondocks, whether it's being on Living Single, but School Days, if I take you way back then, and another movie that I don't feel like got enough critical acclaim, Vampire in Brooklyn. Come on, man, with Eddie Murphy. And he's here with us today. And I've been watching his new series. It's called Teenage Bounty Hunters. If you go on Netflix, it's one of the top 10 trending series. He has so much, a wealth of knowledge and information to offer us. I want to welcome him to the show, the one and only Kadeem Hardison. Give it up for Kadeem Hardison.
Hey.
Yo. Yo.
Kadeem. What an intro, bro.
Come on, man. I'm not even telling the whole story. We didn't even get to talk about your mom. You know what I mean?
The legend, the icon.
You know, and I just want you to know, like we've had, let's say we've had Martin Lawrence up here, Kadeem. We, you know, Will Smith has been up here. You know, we've had all of these amazing people like yourselves who've been a part of amazing shows that were more than just TV shows for us. You know, they were not only giving insight to the rest of America of who we are as a people, but it was also giving us guidance of as who we can be as a people. You know what I mean? When you talk about a different world, at that time when A Different World first came out, I remember there was an episode called The Cats in the Cradle.
Yeah.
You remember that episode? This was like early 90s, 92. And you were arrested, you know, and got into an argument about race in America with our other friend, Dean Cain. And that argument that you had back then can be had today. When you were in this show, did you understand, like, did y'all have an understanding of the importance of this show and the impact that it was making at that time?
No, it was no internet. There was no internet. We did that, yo. There was no there was no likes. There was no follows. There was no direct access to information the way it is now. I was trying to be on time and keep my job and do the best I could, you know what I mean, and represent, you know, the legacy of my family. Just, you know, just do good. When I talk to young actors, you know, I say, you know what, do your best. You never know who's watching. Always do your best. So I was really just trying to do my best. I'm finding out 30 years later the impact from cats like you, Ninth Wonder, like Lena Waithe told me that I taught her how to dress, and you know, I'm the reason she's a sneakerhead. And like 30 years later, I'm really starting to feel what show meant to people. At the time, they would tell us, yeah, the ratings are good, number 2, but it's only because you got the Cosby lead in. Yeah. Ball dog shit up there, it'll be number 2. So don't get cocky, kids.
Okay, so they said your success was because of the Cosby lead-in. They didn't give credence to the show. Yeah?
Yeah. got invited Emmys, never got to play on that.
Yo, Kadeem, your phone, boys, but your phone service must be from 1992, brother.
Damn, it's like that.
Yeah. Man, you in and out like a burger right now, man. I'm trying to.
You dumb. You dumb.
Oh, damn.
Yo, HB, you try it. Let have the B try it. Get in there, B.
No, well, I
HB.
just wanted to. It's a couple things that's so dope about Kadeem being on the show because I know that Kadeem. You heard him mention Ninth. You heard him like Kadeem is a hip hop head. So I always thought that was just so dope. I remember one time in the 90s walking down the street with Kenny Parker and we saw you, KRS-One's brother, and we saw you walking down the street and you stopped us and was like BDP, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Kadeem Hardison. So like I always admired that about you. But then, fast forward, my sister is only 26 years old and we had a big debate one time about television couples, and I was trying to explain to her that she has to look at, she said that Whitley and Dwayne Wade are goals, and I was like, Whitley and Dwayne Wade from a different world? She's like, yes, that's blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, you have to understand what they were probably looking at. I said, Kadeem Hardison, his mom is legendary, the legend, Miss Beth Ann Hardison. Like, you have to understand that Kadeem probably grew up watching the Jeffersons and Good Times, and he understands all of that too. She was like, what?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to play this conversation back for my sister so she can understand. But can you break down some of the shows that you grew up watching that maybe helped shape, you wanting to get into acting, and then how you approached the couple situation when you did do A Different World?
Wow. The couple situation doesn't really have much to do with what I watched growing up as a kid. That comes from being raised by women, I think, because I was raised by my grandmother, my aunt, my great-grandmother, and my mother. So I pretty much spent my early years in Brooklyn with my great-grandmother and my grandmother. And then at around 10, 11, or 12, my mom's took me and we went up to Harlem for a year and then down to Manhattan, Lower East Side Manhattan, or Midtown Manhattan. And just being around those women, and with my aunt, and just being around those women, if you grow up around a bunch of dudes, they might teach you one kind of game. If you grow up around a bunch of women, you might get less game, but a different insight, a different path. But the show I grew up watching were definitely Good Times, The Jeffersons, That's My Mama.
Oh, wow.
That's my mama.
Mama.
Yeah, that's my mama.
Gosh.
That's
Yes.
my mama. Room 222. Boy, yeah, but shoot, for comedy, it was Bill Cosby. It was the Cosby, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
Yeah.
Like whatever with Bill Cosby, but no one will ever be able to take that impact that seeing those kids in the neighborhood that look like mine every Saturday morning, when Saturday morning was Super Friends and Tom and Jerry and Popeye and da-da-da, and then all of a sudden stop. The music changed, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And then, next thing you know, it was these kids that looked like me in a hood that looked like right outside my window in Brooklyn. And, that was huge for me. It was huge that I could see that go down at that young age.
Well, Kadeem Hardison is here. Tracy, you want to ask him something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely, Kadeem. Hey, it's Tracy. Thank you for joining us, love. I'm wondering, because you spent all of your formative years in New York, and just hearing you, from Brooklyn to Harlem to Manhattan, and hearing you reflect on how these shows gave you a sense of identity, right? Because it looked like where you were at that period of time. Tell me how you feel about New York now. All the changes happening in Brooklyn, in Harlem. You have so much of the history of it. Like, talk to us.
Yeah, it's wild. I went back because my brother still lives about 2 blocks away from where I grew up, the street I grew up on, Hancock and Reed. It was Mex Boulevard, I think they changed it to. But when I was there, there was no Malcolm X Boulevard. It was Reed Avenue. And my brother still lives like 3 blocks away. So I went and saw him a couple of years ago, and I was just.
Yeah, Kadeem, you're gonna have to call, man. We got to do this different, man. Your phone is hating on you.
It is, bro. Escobar has returned.
Man, I got that Sprint, and it's
Yo, it want the week at a
here.
start.
Yo, say that again, Kadeem.
I got that Sprint, and I thought it was. I know it's whack up here in the canyon, but and I thought we was on a Zoom call, so I wasn't even at my girl. Like, yo, I'm gonna need your phone in the morning, because I thought this was gonna be a Zoom joint. So she broke out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just zoom in, and all of a sudden I went to look at the stats. You know, what do I got to do? And it was like calling. I was like, oh shit.
Kadeem, I'm gonna give you a little secret on the Sway in the Morning show, because people be hitting us up and trying to compare us to other situations. The reason citizens of Sway in the Morning, why Sway is not doing so much Zooms that you don't see, we're live. We're a live show. This is going across to millions of people at one time. A lot of people are able to do Zoom because they are pre-taping, pre-recording way after different hours. This is a live show. We're able to take live calls every single day. So we can't do Zoom and do radio at the same, and live radio at the same time.
Got you.
Yeah, but you still need a better service.
Well, that wasn't a knock on Sprint. I'm just breaking it down to Kadeem. Wow, you know, we would love to see you, but this is actually a live show, so everybody can hear your phone doing a DJ premiere right now.
Yo, my God.
Get it out.
Oh damn! Well, hey, I've been wanting when I got this when I got the list of who was going to be on the talking, who I was going to be talking to, this was the one that meant the most. So if we got to do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, next month,
landline.
We
I want to
make it.
Should I have to go out? But y'all got me up at 8:00 in the morning. And
that ain't nothing.
That's really.
That ain't nothing.
You don't have all the answers, Sway.
Oh, damn, Kadeem.
Oh, no, team from left field. All the way from left field.
Oh, man, he been trying. Hey, he dug that one up right there. I ain't mad at you, man.
Bro, I've been waiting so long to say that, yo. I've been waiting so long to say that. Oh, God.
Man, I'm glad.
I was waiting for the right moment, too.
It was the timing was perfect. That's a testament to your acting skills.
You go. You go. Let them know.
Absolutely, man. I want to say this too. If Teenage Bounty Hunters was something I'm not sure if I would have gravitated towards had you not been involved in it. Nothing without knowing anything about this show. But
it's not our demographic. Absolutely.
It's not our demographic necessarily. But when I watch it, it has some parallels too to me to different world because it covers race, it covers religion, it covers politics, it covers sexual identity, and it's only been one season. Was that part of the allure to this role for you? Because you're a funny character, eccentric, the whole nine, but all of these main staples, these important topics are coming up. Was that part of the allure?
The allure was, I'm going to do something really different with this character. I didn't know how deep the rabbit hole went, but the pilot script was really exciting. But all I really got to see from jump was episode 1. So that's what hooked me. I didn't get this is a whole 10 episodes. This is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to be talking about. I got one script. I looked at that. I was like, wow, if they let me do this the way I want to do it, then this could be fun, and I'd do this for years. Sometimes you read some joints and be like, I'll do it, but I don't want to do this forever.
Yeah.
But I read this, and I was like, this would be a whole lot of fun if I could do it my way. I'd do it for a long time, and when I got in the room with them, it exploded. Like, it was probably the best audition meeting I've ever had. And
really?
And so I think I was the first one cast. They found me before the twins. Really? And then went from there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those shows where I knew Kathleen, our head writer, showrunner, and creator, was brilliant. Just on the script that she wrote based on her, growing up in the South. I didn't know the direction we were going to go. And I was reading every script every week, kind of the way people are watching the episodes now. Page turners, like, yo, what is happening here? What is the twist, the turns, all of that was like blowing my mind at 2:00 in the morning. You know, when the scripts would come in the email, I'd be waiting for them like a crackhead, like waiting at the door.
Wow, man, that's great to hear. That kind of passion and excitement. Teenage Bounty Hunters is on Netflix. He plays Bowser Simmons, and you can watch it now. I've been watching it now, so congratulations on that. And we're gonna have you come back on the show so we can have a clear. I might have to Zoom you. You know, we might have to Zoom you. And but before you go, brother, would you ever revisit? Because we've been seeing a lot of reboots of different shows, and we even reported that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air might do a reboot as well. Would you ever revisit a Different World reboot if the concept was a good fit?
We've been trying as a cast to reach out and get that done for about a decade, and the owners don't really seem interested. So we kind of, got tired of begging. Just was like, wow, word, y'all gonna do Roseanne and not do us? Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
Remember how she threw that phone at y'all when she didn't like the script and stormed off the set and said fix it and disappeared for 2 days? Remember? You don't remember?
Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember that? We didn't throw no phones.
I was there when she came storming out of the joint, screaming and hollering. Her dressing room was right above mine.
Oh,
she
you
jumped
saw
in the
that?
car. She screamed at, bruh, I was there. She threw a phone, and not like a flip phone. One of them phones with all the intercom lines, and one of them big ass phones with the handle and the speaker on it.
Look like a microwave.
And you got to yank it. Yeah, you got to yank it out the wall and throw it across the room and tell them fix it. And off she went. Tom, get the car.
And that was
Rosie? And off she went.
And off she
2 days
went.
later, I was like, "Where's Rosie at? She's not coming back." It was like, she's not answering the phone. And they rebooted that shit quick. I was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
Full out. Shot. Like, people kind of dig it. They digging the Different World. They still feeling it.
They wasn't having it, man.
They love it. They have a whole new audience. They don't even understand that they have a whole new audience. I'm
Absolutely.
talking to 26-year-olds, but it's crazy.
It was a show that I thought never should have ended. I just thought, hey, look, man, you could let me go. You could let me and Jazz and Shorty and Cree, and we could all go on and graduate, and you just bring in new freshmen and keep it going, because there's always going to be something to talk about. It's always going to be topical. You got the blueprint. Just keep it going. Whatever in the news, whatever on the conscience, whatever on everybody's lips, just talk about it, and create new stars and give more opportunity. And they was like, yeah, no, we like to leave the rain romance, and then we out.
And that was it.
That was it.
Yeah, man. Hey, so let me ask you, with all the success that all of you've had and the experience that you have, why wouldn't you guys create something similar of your own then? With Jasmine,
it couldn't be too similar because copyrights and all of that. And big lawyers. Because we wanted to. It was like, you know what, we'll just change it and call it something else. And it was like, yeah, okay, you try that. I was like, well, that sounds like a threat. Okay, maybe we won't try that. But just give us the name. Just give us the name, and we'll do something dope. We got people that really blew up on the joint, and now they in places where they can. Well, if you can get Childish Gambino to direct it, okay. Hold on. First of all, how y'all know who Childish Gambino is? Okay.
Because their kids home listening to it.
Yeah, and Donald Glover, they know him as really Donald Glover from the TV roles,
right?
And, and then
he got his own thing going on. We can,
right?
Yeah, it was just more of a hassle than it felt like it was worth. It was like, this got to be a organic, like, hey, we got an idea. Kind of the way Roseanne jumped off. On The View, all of Roseanne, the cast got together for a kind of mini reunion. And while they were there, one said to the other, hey, wouldn't it be fun to get the band back together? And da-da-da-da. 2 weeks later, they had a deal. A month later, they had a script. The next thing you know, they back on.
Yeah. Wow. Well, shit, maybe somebody, I don't know what to say about that one. You just basically y'all got blocked out, man. But
Yeah,
you got blocked out. But, man, tell Daryl I said what up, too, man. I know you and him
Sure.
still kicking. You okay? Please tell him I said
me,
what up.
him, Creed, Jazz, we all holler all the time still.
All right, well, tell him I said what up, man. Is this your, this is the number you call from? This your number or your girl's number?
This my number. My girl shit sound good. You know, she got Verizon.
Okay, I'm going to shoot you a text, brother. She got Verizon. Hey, Kadeem Hardison, man, give him a round of applause, man.
Love
Thank you for
to
being on the
Kadeem.
show this morning, man.
Yes.
We got part 2 of this conversation we got to do, man. Teenage Bounty Hunters on Netflix. Yeah, right, Kadeem? We got part 2?
Absolutely. Whenever you're ready, I'm down.
Okay, absolutely, man. Have a great day, man. Kadeem
Yes.
Hardison.